Okay, let's... Whoa, that's what I'm going with, okay. Look how much my hair's grown. Like, I could go full Elvis with this. Or, I've been playing around with some partings. For us older people, don't listen to the Gen Zs, okay? Middle parting, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm trying to get my stuff together. I'm also still recovering from being sick. So first things first, I meant to film this ages ago, and then I wanted to wait for something to happen, and then I put an announcement I was going to post it, and then I didn't film it, and then stuff happened, and then I got sick, and then I stopped being sick just in time to do a show, which I'm very grateful for. It was The Shining. I'll put a little picture up. Quite proud of it. It was very good. But then I immediately got sick again. You can probably still hear it in my voice. Also, this guy, he's not up there for aesthetic reasons. He's covering up a hole in the back of the piano because I've been lying on this couch for days right now. Binging Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is great if you have the flu, by the way. Just the vibes are similar, and the reverb when you're coughing into the back of an upright piano is awful. It'll drive you more insane and delirious than you already were. So anyway, that's why this video hasn't come out any sooner, but there's a reason why I haven't done any other videos in a while, and it's because, well, my voice sounds really you can tell I haven't been talking in a while. It's because I have been very busy doing something that is very exciting for me. Just before I get into that though, I have been doing, well, supposed to have been doing the I think it was Criminoli's challenge. I picked to read 75 books that I own before I buy any more. Much like that one time I tried to do Lent, I forgot once I tried to do Lent, and I said I would just stop eating chocolate bars because I just picked one thing, and then halfway through a chocolate bar I realised what I was doing. Much the same thing happened, and I went into a charity shop and I was looking at books, and as I was walking out thinking about putting them in a video, I remembered that I wasn't supposed to buy books. So I broke the rule. I'm probably just going to start fresh, start all over again, but I did buy some interesting books. So first one here I have is Needful Things by Stephen King. It's longer than I thought for some reason. I think I saw the movie when I was younger. I didn't think it would be this big, but it is Stephen King. There is a shop in Dublin called Needful Things that I really want to go into. It seems to sell just most random cool things, kind of vintagey collector items and stuff. It's directly across from an establishment called It's a Trap, which I find quite amusing. So that's one I haven't read. I'm going to get into that. Next one was actually a mistake. I bought The Widows of Eastwick by John Updike. I picked this up, I thought it was The Witches of Eastwick, which is a movie, which, if I remember, is quite good. But I did see some section of the book of The Witches of Eastwick, and it was like horrific man writing woman, like not understanding what the anatomy of women actually is. So I want to read that and just see how ridiculous it actually was. But this is actually The Widows of Eastwick, which I don't know if it's praise. Well, this is praise for The Witches of Eastwick. Why do books do this? Why do they give praise for a different bloody book? Oh, okay, so this is a sequel to The Witches of Eastwick. So I don't know, he's probably got some terrible writing in there as well. Next up we have The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters. This was a movie with one of my favourite actors, Donald Gleason, in it. I didn't particularly like the movie. It was alright, but people who have seen the movie and read the book have said that the book is a lot better, so I'm gonna see what the book is like. It's about this a sort of a guy who grew up near this big country estate, becomes a doctor, then he gets called in to actually go back to this estate and care for someone who lives there, but there's like ghostly goings on and there's a twist at the end. So I'm gonna see how that goes. And the last one is The Terror by Dan Simmons. This guy, this is obviously one of those unfortunate covers, although it's not that bad, of I think this was made into a TV series. And I just read The Hunger by Alma Katsu, which is sort of a supernatural thing based on a true event, and this is the same. This is about a boat getting stuck out in the Arctic or Antarctic, I'm not sure. Arctic ice, and this guy made it into sort of a supernatural creepy thing. Apparently it's very, I just hit myself in the face, that kind of hurt. Apparently it's very good. I'm looking forward to that. Another big chunker, so that's those. But on to the reason that I've been very busy for the last few months. I'm just going to consult my notes on this. Oh, it really hurt my jaw with that. So I'm going to tell you that, and then I'm also going to go into my goals for the year. This sort of ties into my goals for the year and also my goals for this channel, which is the main goals that I generally have for anything. So it's been a while that I've actually been doing anything else really, and I do have a bit of a confession to make. So I have been very busy scamming people on the internet for money. I know that's something you shouldn't be proud of, but I'm actually very proud of it and excited about it. So it's not a traditional scam in that I'm advertising a service and then people are paying for that service and then I am providing that service. But it is a scam in that they are paying me decent money for the thoughts in my brain, just things I'm making up on the fly. They're paying for that, and it just feels illegal. Something's not right, you know. I'm waiting to get caught. It's just like, it's odd. So anyway, let me go back to the start. So I think it was in like the summer of last year, summer of 2022, my older brother, who lives over in China, he contacted me and he was asking about like creative writing, and he wanted some advice on non-fiction writing. He wanted to start a blog or something. He's very into mental health and better well-being and stuff, hence why he moved to the East in the first place. But he wanted to do some non-fiction, but he wanted it to like still be interesting and grab people, and he knew that I did creative writing, so he contacted me and I was like, yeah, sure, send stuff over, I'll give you my advice on it. And he was like, how much do you want for it? And I was like, you're my brother, I'm not gonna charge you for that. But he said, no. And this is when you know people have too much money. He said, no, people do a better job when they're getting paid for something, and as a civil servant, that is debatable, but I got what he meant, and he thought I would pay more attention to it or whatever if I was getting paid. Now, he didn't end up sending me anything, he got busy with other stuff, but I think that's when the gears started turning and I started thinking, people actually do pay for this stuff, and I do have opinions on this, and I actually do have some education in this. So I started a gig on Fiverr in September of last year. You might have seen it if you bother looking at the descriptions of anyone's videos. I always put a link down at the bottom for my gig on Fiverr. And so last year in September I set up the gig, and I immediately just posted it on my Instagram, which has the most followers, and I immediately got like a a first buyer, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. But I thought like this was someone, it was, I don't think her name's there anyway, Billy Me Mist, who I have talked about her vampire series, her books on my channel before. I've reviewed her books, and I think she knew that I kind of got where she was going with her story, and she had another book to do, so she got some feedback from me on that, and she gave me a 5-star review, and she gave me a tip, and I thought that is so lovely. Thanks so much. But I thought she's doing it because I supported her writing, so she's kind of supporting this little thing that I'm doing, and I was very appreciative of that. Cool. She then came back to me with like a short story novella thing as well, which was very cool, unrelated to the vampire series, and I did that as well. And then I got a couple of people who I thought might have come through Instagram, but I think they actually found me through Fiverr search. But anyway, cut to from September to like December, I did get a few buyers, whatever, and I was able to withdraw 100 quid. That was crazy to me. Like I spent that on buying some Christmas presents, but I thought like, hey, if I could do this consistently, and if I actually put a little bit more effort into it and stuff, you know, maybe I could make like extra money that would like pay, you know, my internet bill, or like my electricity, or like pay for books and stuff for this channel, or, you know, I'm a fan of tattoos, whatever. But, you know, it would be a little extra side money, which is always helpful, especially in this economy. But I was like, yeah, that would be cool. So when I was looking at my goals for this year and my goals for this channel, I was like, okay, I'm gonna include Fiverr in those things. Now, it does help that this came about sort of at a perfect time where I went home for Christmas and I spent time with my family, and when it was time to come back to my office, I didn't. I just didn't leave the house, didn't show up for work. Not the first time I've done this, unsurprisingly, but I was realizing that I was really starting to loathe my job. Fun fact, adults who are diagnosed with autism, about 70% of us don't have jobs. The small percent that do have jobs, only about half of those are full-time, and most of them are part-time, because things just aren't meant for us. The world is built in the opposite, to not help us. We do not do well in office environments. I find personally for myself, I don't do well in office environments, don't do well with other people who expect certain levels of sociability from me and whatnot, so it just doesn't work. And I've been kind of holding on by the skin of my teeth to this office job pretty much since I got it a few years ago, and you know, I was like, just suffer through it because it's like a guaranteed paycheck, you know. And I've sort of reached my threshold for suffering, and I'm losing my tiny little mind. So since January, I've been, you know, I took some time off, and then I came back to work, and I was like, hey, I'm not doing very well, I need help. They don't seem very interested in helping me, which is fun, and I didn't expect much, but I expected, you know, something. But I've got nothing, so this has come around, and I was like, you know, this will definitely be helpful because I'm on the rocks here. I might lose my job soon. So it's in that sort of atmosphere that I started looking at Fiverr a little bit more seriously. I haven't mentioned what I actually do. It's a beta reading service. I will make a more in-depth video if people are interested, but also just to link into my Fiverr to explain exactly what I do. But beta reading, some small line edits and developmental editing and stuff. Up until now, I've basically, people have been sending me either their books or their short stories or their short story collections, novellas. I've kind of done everything, and I just give my opinion, and people seem to be responding well to it, which is odd, but obviously I give it in a constructive way. I think it helps. I'm a writer myself, so I know what you kind of need to hear, aside from, you know, I like this part, I don't like this part. It's like I give them sort of suggestions on directions they could go, and I think that does help people as well, so that's what I'm doing. So with that in mind, in January, I found this cool notebook, and it's called 100 Things. It's got little subcategories there. I want to accomplish, create, learn, blah blah blah. It's actually got all these different sections, you know, so you can list off 10 things I want to experience, 10 things I want to fight for, or whatever. But the first one is accomplish, and the first thing I wrote down was my goal for Fiverr for the year. So I was like, okay, I always go way too high, and then I feel bad that I don't hit that. And it's because I always like quoting my favourite TV show, Third Rock from the Sun, when Sally says, aim for 10 and don't sell for anything less than 5. But this time I thought, I'm gonna try and be conservative, and based on what I did up until Christmas, from September to December, I made just over 100, I think, and I was able to take out 100, so I was like, okay, my goal for 2023 is to make €500. So that means I have to make €500 before the 31st of December 2023. And it looks like I'm not actually going to reach that goal. The reason I'm not going to reach that goal is that I actually reached that goal on the 2nd of February. Yeah, so then I was like, okay, something's going crazy here, but I'm not, don't question it, just go with it. So I was like, okay, so I'll update it, you know, I'll update my my thing, and I was like, okay, I've reached 500. Now, wouldn't it be cool if I could, like, pay a month's rent, you know, like, pay a whole month's rent? Like, imagine if someone just gave you money for, like, a month's rent right now, or mortgage, whatever you're doing. Here's a mortgage. Like, that would be very cool, right? My rent right now is $950, so it'll be an extra $450, and I was like, okay, that's my new goal, to pay a month's rent using money just from Fiverr in 2023. I'm not going to make that by December 31st though, because I reached that on February 13th. So, yeah. That's a lot of money. It might not seem like a lot of money to other people, you know, like my day job pays more than that, but I feel like I'm just making that money up in my mind. That's, so in total so far, like, these are my very complicated calculations. I've made, when I wrote this down, which was like a week ago or something, I made 1,464 so far, but I've had orders since then, and I've completed orders since then, so I think I'm nearing 2,000, and it's March now. What's happening? That's crazy. Is there what's happening in my notes? Literally saying what's happening. Yeah, it feels like I'm in the Truman Show. I feel like I'm being punked. Ashton Kutcher's gonna come out at some point. I feel like one of my friends is secretly rich, and they're going on and creating all these accounts and creating all these fake book manuscripts and sending them to me, and it's gonna be like a big gotcha moment. This is crazy. Not only are loads of people ordering, I've pretty much only gotten 5 stars, except from this one person, but then they also tipped me. I'm very confused. Americans really confuse me. They tip even when they don't like things. It's strange. But I've also been getting tips, which is odd. You know, I never expect tips, but I'm getting them. It's very strange, but very cool as well. Yeah, I've now done everything from little 150 word author bios to like 130 word novels. There's horror, there's fantasy, there's literary fiction, personal essays, short stories. There's also, I have a map, and it's like I've conquered 3% of the world. You know, I've got stuff from like Mongolia and down in French Guyana, yeah. But all over the place. Absolutely crazy, very strange, very cool, bizarre. So that's what I've been doing. I've been like, it's right now I'm down to 1. I have 1 order in my queue, but this is the first time I've only had 1 order since I started in January. I think like every time I gotten down to 2, I've said, okay, this is where your good luck runs out, and you're not just gonna get people ordering from you. You're gonna have to go out and, you know, find orders or whatever, so you're gonna have to take things more seriously. But before I even finish the thought, I've got another order coming in. There's this one guy, Jason. Hallelujah for Jason. He's my genuinely best customer, because I think I've got like 35 orders in total since I started in September, and he's at least 1/3 of those. He really likes my feedback on his short stories for some reason. But yeah, it's crazy. So with that in mind, I feel like I keep saying that, I need a break from my office job, and they aren't willing to give me a break, or for any reason. So the only way I can take a break is if I either quit entirely, which I don't think is a good idea right now, or I can take a career break, which is a minimum of 6 months, and I wouldn't get paid a cent for any of that. I was going to go back to my brother, who offered to pay me, and borrow some money so I could pay my rent in that time, but now I'm not sure I need to at all. If I can keep going with this, like, if this could become my new day job, that is utterly insane. All I wanted for like the last 2 years, and I've been fighting for my stupid job for the last 2 years, is to work from home. I just feel so much more comfortable at home. I won't be alone. Everyone's freaking out, like, oh, you're gonna be alone. No, both my housemates work from home, and I hate them for it. I like being in my own environment. I like being able to eat whenever I want, do whatever I want. This would also work so much better with my terrible sleeping habits. Like, I can make my own hours. I can work as much or as little as I want. Like, this would be the fucking dream for me. Like, and the idea of freelancing was always like, yeah, that would be perfect, but I would never be able to, you know, you have to be that precocious person who like draws in clients and stuff, but they're just appearing from somewhere for some reason, and I'm just going with it for the moment. So yeah, I am now set in April to start a 6-month career break, which means that if this really goes south, I can go back in December or whenever it is. But until then, I'm going to be working on Fiverr. I'm going to be making my money there. I think I can do it. which is crazy. And it's not just gonna be like working on other people's stuff, is like it's also teaching me a lot about my own writing. So I'm gonna be making myself a better schedule. I'm not delusional. I know I'm not great at being consistent, and this is one of the other things for my YouTube channel as well. I've realized, looking back at all the other goal videos I've made and stuff, I always seem to take an unintentional break around Christmas, because I'm just like burnt out throughout the year, and I always somehow seem to think that I can do all these like readathons and like vlogmas and stuff like this, even though that's the time I should be resting. And because I have a neurodivergent brain, like I can't work at the same sort of consistency levels as someone who doesn't, because my energy goes up and down, and sometimes I just need to stop, and sometimes I can do 20 things at once. So I need to bring that into account. But I'm still going to be busy, but I'll be here to do a lot more videos, and I'll be writing my own stuff. So there's probably going to be a lot more videos on writing and writing advice and whatever I'm learning from Fiverr, and delving a little bit deeper into creative writing and the stuff that I'm reading on like the actual language level. A little clip from last year's goal video for this channel. I have plans for this year, so we really have 2 goals, and that is to get to 500 subscribers, which will mean actually uploading videos. I know, crazy. And my other goal is to upload at least 1 video a month that is based on writing. So either a ride-along video, or just sort of updates on me working on my novel that I'm working on at the minute, or just sort of authorship videos talking about maybe going a little bit deeper into some short stories that I've read, because I have read some really great short stories recently, so I might go into the sort of more technical side of writing on that. Now, as you can see from that, first of all, I actually stuck to most of those goals. I think they were to have a writing video every month, and I pretty much did that. I reached my subscriber goal and stuff, so I actually did pretty well. My goals for this channel this year are to not be so strict. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna have, you know, X amount of videos every week or every month or anything, but I would like to have, again, same, at least 1 writing video a month, either like a writing vlog, my own writing, doing like little, I have some writing exercises in mind from stuff that I've learned over the years, and also maybe delving a little deeper into, you know, the writing styles and the action reading. And I can also make some videos on maybe some stuff that's been coming up on my Fiverr work as well, which would be cool. One of my other goals for the channel, my hard goal for the subscribers, is to reach that coveted horror number of 666, and I plan on doing that by, yeah, really just focusing on what I'm good at and try and be better with my videos. I also want to do a live at least once a month, because I did a live during NaNoWriMo last year, or I started doing lives, and once I got over the hiccups of terrible sound and video and everything else, they were actually really positive for me. They really motivated me to do a lot more writing, and I'm going to use them for reading as well, doing just kind of productivity sprints that other people do. I mean, it'll help me get through my actual Fiverr work, it'll help me get through the books that I want to read, and my own writing as well, and to also interact with people, because it was really fun talking to people, surprisingly. So if I do that at least once a month, I think it'll be really cool. Now, a sort of the other coveted subscriber goal is always 1,000 for any channel, because that's when you can get monetized. And obviously, if I do end up actually quitting my job and just making my money through Fiverr. Obviously any other way that I can make money would be cool. I mean, obviously small book channels do not make a lot of money at all, but I mean, first thing first, whether you've chosen to be monetized or not, YouTube puts videos or puts ads on videos anyway. Like, they just do that. You'll see ads on videos where people don't even have 1,000 subscribers, so they can't possibly be monetized. But YouTube does that anyway if it gets a lot of views. So I figure if I get to that point, I'm gonna have ads anyway, so I may as well make some money for myself out of that. And also, even if I made enough again just to pay like the internet bill or buy a couple of books, you know, that would be cool. You know, like if I could actually quit my job and not have to go back to an office job or like an in-person job at all, that would be insane. Like, that would be so life-changing for me and for my brain. Like, I can't even really imagine it. Also a dog. Sorry, if we also got my housemate wants to get a dog. We're all working from home now. You know, we can get a puppy, we can train him up. I think he wants to get a kind of bigger dog, older dog. Anyway, I don't care. Whatever dog wants to be in my vicinity, I am there for that dog. And I will love that dog. I will be the best auntie to that dog ever. Also, mental health will go through the roof. Genuine mental health professionals have told me that I should get a dog, and you know, I'm all for the doctors, taking the doctor's notes, you know. One other thing I will mention is I am a judge on the BookTube Prize Awards, I think it's called, and I do have some books that I have to read by the end of the month so that I can rank them. I've been sworn to secrecy on any opinion of those books, but that's easy because I haven't read them yet, so I don't have an opinion. But I will be making a video very soon. I'm allowed to tell you what books I am reading for that, so I'll probably do just a short little thing. If you're at all interested in all the Fiverr stuff or any of the beta reading stuff, please let me know. If you have any questions about what I actually do, if you write and you think I might be able to give you some advice or suggestions or anything on that, if you have any questions about my actual gig, or if you have any questions about setting up your own Fiverr stuff, please let me know. I am happy to help. I've been telling all my friends to do it. If you need any French translation services, one of my best friends actually has started their own Fiverr as well. Native French speaker, he's from Tours, and he is absolutely fluent in English. And when I say fluent, I mean like meme level fluent. Like, we speak almost exclusively in memes. English is perfect, and he's very funny, so if you have comedy stuff you want to get translated, he's great at that as well. So please check his link out below. I will leave a link for my Fiverr gig, and I think you can also refer people on Fiverr, so I'll have a referral link as well. Now that is for if you want to start your own gig, or if you want to make an account so you can buy things as well. So I'll leave my referral link down there as well. If you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know. I love talking about it. I have not shut up about it with my housemates. They're sick of listening to me, so anyone else that I can talk to would be great. I get my energy back now from being sick and everything. I will have more videos coming up. I still have a couple that I filmed ages ago and haven't posted, so I shall be posting those very soon as well. And like I said, I'm gonna do a video specifically on what I've been doing on Fiverr and why I think people seem to respond well to it, and why I think what I'm doing is a little different possibly than what other people are doing. So I shall be doing that. So thank you so much for spending your time with me. Thank you so much for being patient with me on uploading videos and stuff. I really appreciate it. I'm going to catch up on some other YouTubers videos as well, and thank you so much. I shall see you in the next video.